Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Finances in Your 20s series. Today we're going to answer a subscriber's question, which is how do you set a budget and how do you stay on that budget? So I've just broken this down into a 3-step process that anyone can follow. Here we go. So step 1 is you use 1 month of your expenses to figure out exactly how much money you spend and what categories you spend it in. 1 month is a good time because most people's expenses are cyclical within a 1 month period. So if you're going to do this actively and not use just the past 1 month of all your expenses, maybe you've changed lifestyles, so now your expenses are going to be a little different. You just want to, at the end of the day, have some kind of log where at the end of every day you say, like, what did you spend that day, and put it into some kind of categories. Like maybe if you've gone out to eat, that could be a category, or if you bought groceries or used that food to cook at home, that could be another category, or gas money. And don't feel like obligated to figure out all the categories right away. If you spend money in something that doesn't fit one of your categories, all you have to do is add another category and start counting that category from then on. So at the end of the month you should have that list of expenses. Oh, and if you have an expense that occurs less frequently than once a month, like for example for me, my car insurance, I pay once every 6 months. Just take that payment and divide it by the number of months. So divide by 6 in my case, and add that to your monthly expenses so you get a more accurate representation. Okay, so step 2, once you have all of your expenses written down for a month, you just take the sum of all of the categories, and now you know how much you spend in each category for a given month at any point in your life. So then just look, are any of the categories abnormally high? And abnormally high is going to depend on your specific situation, how much percent of your income you want to save, how much percent you normally have left over at the end of the month. So you have to kind of figure that part out on your own. But you should also look at, are you spending any money or too much money on luxury expenses? So luxury expenses are things that you don't actually need. So it's not necessarily like rent or food or those kind of things, but maybe other things. Here's an example of how I actually do spend more on a luxury expense, but I can justify it. So maybe you have expenses like this too. So I'm pretty slow at cooking and cleaning up the dishes and things after I'm done cooking, because I clean them by hand afterward. So most days I don't mind picking up food that's already prepared for me. And it's not like I'm going to McDonald's or anything, so I'm not sacrificing my health because of this. But my theory behind this is that if I can eat pretty quickly and I can maybe save an hour of my evening, then I can use that hour to do something I want to do. Maybe I can use that hour and that extra money I spent to basically invest back in myself. And if I plan or make a video for this YouTube series, then I would consider that a worthwhile investment in myself. So here are some luxury expenses though that I'm able to lower, and maybe this applies to you guys too. So clothes, one of my favorite t-shirts is a $28 name brand t-shirt, and another one is an $8 Target, just plain old t-shirt. So I get the same enjoyment out of both of these shirts, so why not go with the cheaper shirt if you like it just as well as the more expensive one? On the topic of buying a new computer, my personal laptop is 6 years old and I bought it refurbished at the time, which gave me a little more of a discount on the initial purchase. And right now I mostly have to keep it plugged in because the battery's shot on it, so it doesn't like to stay on for a super long time. But I could fix that myself in the future instead of either paying someone else to fix it for me or just saying I'll buy a whole new laptop right now. That's what I did with my power cord not too long ago, just a year or two ago. It went bad and it wouldn't charge my laptop anymore, so I repaired it myself, and I bought just a $5 cord on eBay and soldered it on to my old charging brick instead of buying a whole new charging cord for 60 or 70 or 80 bucks, however much that would have been. And then another example of a luxury expense that you can save on is going on vacation. So just because you go on vacation or you want to relax, you don't need to go to some tropical island or even a faraway destination. For me, I enjoy both going home to visit my family about once a year, and I also enjoy just taking time off of work, being in my current environment, and just being able to relax and do things that I like to do, and that costs me no extra money. So maybe the last thing I want to just tell you about is that some of these expenses that you might have might actually bring about more expenses. And so you want to identify these things when you're going through your budget. There's a lot of expenses like that, and I call this mo money, mo problems. Because, so let's take for example, a new car. You buy a new car, like a new BMW or something, and right off the bat, you're actually forced to pay, immediate like sales tax, registration fees, even probably higher insurance because it's a nice new car. So you don't even have a choice that you have to pay those fees. And then of course depreciation, it's also essentially mandatory, where you lose a lot of the value of the car over time pretty quickly. But then there's also things that you might just feel obligated to spend more money on now that you have a nice car. Maybe now that you have a nice car, you want to buy nicer clothes, or you want to buy a nicer phone. Basically, you want your other belongings to move up to the niceness level of this new car that you've bought. So you have to be careful about that. And also, maybe you get a minor scratch or a ding on it, and you feel compelled to fix every single time that this happens. If someone dings your car in the parking lot, you feel like you need to take it in to a body shop and get it fixed. Whereas maybe with an older car, you might not care anymore, and that would actually save you money. Just another quick example is a name brand jacket. So if you buy a nice name brand jacket, maybe you want to also buy the nice matching pants to go with it, or you need new sunglasses. So these are expenses that once you initially make a first purchase, they push you to possibly make, or at least want to make, more purchases in the future. So you should just know what you're getting into before you make those purchases. So that brings me to the third step, and that is that so once you've done these first two steps, you can keep logging your daily expenses if you're concerned, or if you're just barely staying on budget every month. But I think most people, especially I know I would get very lazy or tired when logging all this information day after day. So I think for a long-term solution, unless you're just a person who's very focused, you should aim for more of a mindfulness approach, where before making before spending money or making a big expense or having one of these expenses that leads to more expenses, you should just think about what you're buying, see if it's actually necessary, or if there's something you can do to reduce the cost of it. And just, I think, being mindful overall of your purchases and not, spending money for no reason, just spending money with a purpose instead of for no reason, you'll save a lot of money. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about this, please leave a comment. And of course, if you have any suggestions for the series, please leave a comment and I'll address them like I did for this video. So stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys.